Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing fine. And we have UCL semi-final in about 2 days, and Real Madrid going to face Chelsea in the semi-finals. It's a very exciting fixture given the form of both teams and how far both teams have come. And to preview the match and the grand fixture, we have with us Yash and Smith from Chelsea Mumbai Bayside Blues. Hi Yash, hi Smith. And from Pena Madrid Bombay, we have Yash Pereira joining me.
Hey guys.
So, how are you guys doing?
All good, man. The
All
lockdown
well.
has just stagnant into the house, so it's difficult, but yeah, manageable.
Manageable, yeah. I hope
Yeah.
everybody is doing safe and everybody is fine, staying at home. So,
So far,
how
so
excited are you about this like fixture, like Chelsea versus Madrid? We haven't really played each other in very big fixtures like other teams have. I was looking at some stats yesterday, and I was amazed that how two big teams so dominant in Europe and with such a big fan following have met each other so few times. Like last we
It
go
has been
back to
less than
competitive.
five, right? If I'm not wrong, there have been no more than 3 or 5
three. I
between.
think
There are just three competitive fixtures we
Yeah,
have met,
three or
and
five,
last
three or
one
five.
goes back to 1998 UEFA Super Cup final, which you guys won. I guess last time you made it was 2013
Uh,
14.
18 years, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
8
so
years ago.
13
it
13
This
is
is the
14.
first time
semi-final.
Chelsea has made it into the semi-finals after 8 years.
Right, right. So, how are you guys feeling about the fixture? What are your thoughts?
This is a very big fixture from our point of view. Since like we came after a long time in a semi-final, and on the back of a turbulent season for us, so this fixture feels even bigger. Sort of, a semi-final and against Real Madrid. So it's kind of big deal because recent past we haven't been that great in Europe, but now we have a chance to again show on the big stage that yeah, we are here.
So
Right.
I would like to go on and add and just say 3 magical words. Eden Hazard's homecoming. That is all that I have to say on this fixture right now. Because as you all know, Eden Hazard, he has not, replicated his form at Madrid. However, for us Chelsea fans, he has been a legend of the game. Like for everything that
Right.
they have done for us, he has, helped the club. He has been single-handedly influential in so many title wins, match wins, and everything for us. He has a elite status for us, and Chelsea fans, he's a player who we can never disrespect or dislike, irrespective of the team he plays for. He's a
Correct.
Carlos Puyol or he's a Modric.
So, I just wanted to ask a question, like just a counter question. Why is it just Eden Hazard's homecoming? Isn't it Courtois'
No,
homecoming
don't
too?
go there. Don't go there. I would
We'll
quickly
come
refrain
back to
from
that. We'll come back to
saying
that.
words.
Perry, how are you feeling
Yeah.
about Madrid
To,
versus
to
Chelsea?
yeah, so to add to Smith that I think even we are going to see Eden Hazard play for a long time, just like you all. It's going to be his debut.
Yeah,
Apparently,
fair
this
enough.
is his debut Champions League match
Oh,
in a long, long time. Yeah, I think it's a good homecoming for us too. If Kovacic is playing, right?
yeah.
We are
Hopefully,
Yes,
missing
yes.
Kovacic
Yeah.
in the.
hopefully he'll be
No,
fit for the
he's
first leg.
He's
second
out for
leg.
the first
Second
leg,
leg,
I
sorry.
guess, but
He's out
second
for
leg
the first leg.
definitely he
Yeah,
might play.
Tuchel
Yeah.
confirmed yesterday in the press conference. He's out for the first leg. He might feature in the second leg.
Our bracket had teams like Porto and Liverpool and Chelsea and Madrid, none of which are in total dominance in Europe. But the other sides, other bracket that there is the PSG, Bayern Munich, Man
City.
City, they are completely on top of the game, right? So people
Yes.
were expecting a huge show from that bracket. But do you think that like our match that's going to happen? It will just be a like a tactical chess match kind in between two very able managers.
I'd like to go first. And to answer your question, I don't think it might be that tactical because both of the managers have been, have essentially given their players a platform to express themselves. All right.
Right.
Yes, I agree. Like tactics will be an influential factor and everything, but unlike Antonio Conte or Maurizio Sarri, if I may, both the managers are rather more into free flowing football, and they like their players to rather than just make a pass that has been written on the books, rather allow the player to create an opportunity from themselves and stir things up a little, mix it up, and see what the results are. They have given the players that creativity, the freedom of creativity, everything, and that is why I think rather than being much of a tactical match, it will be a more free flowing game, and hopefully we can see some end-to-end action as well.
From Chelsea's point of view, again, the defensive side of the team is been very good under Tuchel. Attack is on and off. It is not yet hit its purple patch, we could say.
Right.
So that is a challenge to come up against Madrid.
We have had like significant number of injuries. Like Mondi is a doubt. Cruz, Modric are in doubt because both are struggling physically. Ramos is a doubt. Vasquez is out. Valverde is out. So, what do you think? Chelsea fancy the chances for this one?
Yes, considering that not the whole squad is healthy for Madrid, so less options, and the big players are not yet there or tired. Like Zidane said last week, I think that they were exhausted completely on zero levels. So yes, this can be, but on the flip side, Chelsea have been playing games every 3 days, 2 days. So the recovery period is sort of similar for both teams. And like I said, this is a bigger game for us than Madrid because of the recent past, probably. Recent history is with Madrid in Champions League at quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the experience of those players playing in those games and taking the team over the line. This is where Madrid have the edge. This is a big difference between Chelsea and Madrid right now. So even though there are injuries in Madrid and Chelsea can fancy their chances, but there is one experience factor which is heavily on Madrid's side.
See, I think that they have a really, really good attack. I've seen Chelsea's two games play. Like, I actually love Mason Mount. He's a really, really good player. Yeah, so, but I still think that the difference what Real Madrid plays with that experience, what they have, if Sergio Ramos and Varane play together, it might be difficult for Chelsea, but you never know. This is a Champions League. Anything can change here. But what do you think? Do you think that Real Madrid's defense would be able to contain Chelsea?
Yeah. So see, one point that works heavily in Real Madrid's favor is Chelsea's attack has not scored more than 2 goals in under Tuchel, apart from the 4-1 win. Under Tuchel, Chelsea has not scored more than 2 goals against any opposition. So that is something which Real Madrid might take confidence of, because Chelsea's attack, I just rightly mentioned, has not clicked, as we discussed earlier. That is something that I feel will go, and something that Real Madrid can use as assurance. And despite missing out on key players, they'll be like, okay, Chelsea's attack has not been that good either. On paper, yes, we are lethal, but they have not clicked. So that is where I feel Real Madrid have an advantage. And I think most of your players, most of your key defenders are coming back for the second leg. And with the first leg being an home game for you, I feel what Zidane might look out to is just make sure that Chelsea don't score an away goal. And then, you can come out all guns blazing at the bridge.
What if Hazard comes on and scores at the bridge?
I'll be happy and heartbroken.
He scores, he scores. What can you do? If he scores, we'll be happy to see him play football.
Happy for him to prove his worth to you guys, and heartbroken because he scored against us.
Yes,
what do you think Thibaut Courtois will do? Do you think Courtois is going to celebrate?
I am waiting for Kai Havertz to, slot the ball past his legs. That is all I want. Just like Messi did against 3-1.
So, but if you see Courtois' last performances, have you seen that he's not been conceding that much goals right now? He's like very, very attentive if you look at him. He rarely commits mistakes now.
Yeah, he has been defensively solid this season, man. I think he's in the condition for a Golden Glove.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong. My brother is a very hardcore Barcelona fan, my twin brother. So I often keep tabs on La Liga as well.
Okay. Right. So as I was saying, the chances of Hazard coming on and scoring a goal are much, much lower than Courtois denying your chances, like because he has been in a very good form lately. Like as I said, 3 clean sheets he has kept in a row. So yeah,
No, as you pose the hypothetical situation, I like to pose one. Like if the second match, which will be played at Bridge, if it had fans, all right, then I don't think Courtois would have been that defensively solid because the fans would have,
definitely.
rackled them.
So
True with that.
what happened with Courtois? Can
He went
like I
AWOL.
don't have a context of why Chelsea fans love Hazard so much and hate Courtois so much.
So if you remember how the transfer panned out, Thibaut Courtois was expected to, return to first team training after, after getting a good preseason off. But instead of coming back, he went AWOL because he wanted to move to Madrid and go back to his wife and, be with his family or something, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember what those details are, but he was like, I wanted to move to Spain and with Madrid being interested after the De Gea hassle, he was like, I'll go there and go there. I don't want to come back to England. And he just went AWOL. Instead of, coming back and being professional, he opted against doing that. And that is why he is not one of the most like former players at the club.
And lot of interviews also where he tries to,
Yeah.
condescending,
Okay.
Yeah,
condescending
like-
interviews. Where
Like
he
He's
says
kind of
he,
an he's kind of an online troll.
he's rubbing it.
Yeah.
So nobody likes that.
yeah,
He's
something
going to
like
get it
this is
back.
the like I think he remember I think he said that Real Madrid is the first that have kissed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he said quite a few statements like those which angered Chelsea fans, and those
Right.
sentences came out of the blue for no good reason.
What does Benzema means for Real Madrid fans?
Go
Very
kart,
take this.
Ferrari. That's all the words I have to say. A go kart versus a
Yeah,
Ferrari.
There is
exactly
one
what
more-
he said.
Yeah.
So do Chelsea
Yeah.
fans agree with that statement?
I think that it's all because of frustration from French fans. Many people actually wanted to see Benzema on the spot list, although it was a big controversy
Yeah.
of the tapes. Everyone knows that. So so they are like because Benzema is a player like you cannot ignore at all. He's been exceptional every year. He's been scoring every year. We've seen Benzema win all the Champions League. Even the 2018 when he scored against Bayern Munich, he scored against Liverpool. He's like absolute talent. Is that kind of player you cannot miss.
I think he's one of the most consistent attackers Real Madrid has had in a long time. Like since the BBC, like the Bale Cristiano, Bale Benzema Ronaldo era. Since then, after that breakup, he has been extremely consistent. Taken over the Bantan like Real Ronaldo left, no worries. Bale is out of form, no worries. I'll carry the team's attack.
But so what do you guys think? Like, isn't Benzema a better striker, like overall striker than Giroud?
Both of the players they bring different dimensions of their game to the team, right? Like if we are speaking of the French national team, they have good wide PC wingers and Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe, XYZ. So if the manager decides to play a striker who can hold up the ball pretty well, then I can't say that Benzema is better than Giroud, because Giroud is one of the best target man I have ever seen play.
Let's go into the starting 11. You guys can tell what would be ideal starting 11. Then Perry would say.
Or rather, suggest you guys go first because we have a lot of I think with you having a squad league, you might have limited options to choose.
Very limited option. Very limited option.
Yeah,
Perry,
and-
go forward.
Yeah.
I'm
So
rather
Carvalho,
one sec, before you say anything, I am rather interested in who would be your preferred midfield pairing. That is something that I'm looking forward to hearing about. With Modric and Kroos obviously injured.
so I think right back would be Carvalho. So I think Carvalho will start this time. Varane, Militao or Nacho, and Mondi on the left back. I think Mondi is injured, but he might go by this.
Mondi, I don't
Mondi,
think he is available, right? If I'm not wrong.
I think
Mondi is
he's
not
Not for the
available.
first leg.
not for the first leg.
No, he's
So
not.
we might have. I want to say Marcelo, but I don't. We can have Nacho starting at the left back.
Hasn't he
and
played much
CDM
of? Hasn't he played as a centre back quite often in the recent matches? Nacho.
Nacho? Yeah, he
Yeah.
can play anywhere too. You can put him on center. You can put him on center. CDM also is going to play there. He's a totally experienced army knife. He can play anywhere. So then on the centers, I think it's going to be Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, the heavily Julian crowd. Either then we can have Fede Valverde subbing in. On the right wing,
Even he is not available, right? He
But
contacted
Fede
Tuchel, if I'm not wrong.
and Cruz Modric won't might not be available for the Chelsea match. Modric is available, but Cruz
Modric
and
is,
Valverde.
Cruz is, Valverde
Cruz is
is COVID negative. No, Valverde tested negative. He's under. I don't think he tested positive.
He has tested positive. He's
No, but his
Yeah.
second test is coming. Like the second test, he's quarantined, but his second test came in negative. One more.
Okay.
Yeah, most probably,
Okay.
but he'll sit out this one.
And then Benzema and Vinicius. Others we can have Asensio coming in, or either Eden Hazard. Let's see.
Yeah, Casemiro will definitely be starting in the midfield. The question is on who will, and even Modric is in tonight's game for against Real
Betis.
Betis. So Modric is back. So Modric and Casemiro definitely. I think given recent matches, another of our youngsters have been promoted to the first team, Antonio Blanco. So he might pair with Modric and Casemiro.
Actually, he's the name I was actually looking out for from both of you guys. Blanco was the name I was looking like. Do you guys put him in your starting 11 or not?
Yeah, he's a very good CDM. He can play as a double pivot with Casemiro, and he did well against Cadiz in the last match. But we'll see if Cruz. All depends. If Cruz is available, then there's no question. If Cruz Casemiro,
I think both the matches of our teams tonight will give a good rough idea on what the potential team selection will be for the UCL clash, right?
right.
Like you versus Betis and us versus West Ham. Gives us a good idea on what the manager might play.
And both are like good tough matches before the UCL.
Yeah.
Right? Like not West Ham is not easy, and for us Betis has never been easy.
What we are thinking should be, according to us, is Mendy in goal. Then
No Arrizabalaga.
no, we have seen.
He has been good in the recent times, but
him.
rather stick to Mendy.
He's been good. Now it's time Mendy comes back. He's got a good break. Fresh again, restart. So Mendy in goal. Right wing back, I'd like to see Reece James with more pace in that area going forward, coming back, and physically more stronger. And the three centre backs for us as Thiago Silva and Rudiger will come in, and left wing back will go for Chilwell. Midfield, like Madrid, we also are lacking options because of Kovacic's injury. So Kante and Jorginho will take their places in that team. Mount will play ahead of us in that sort of free role. And then we would like to see Giroud starting. Some niggles with Benzema might be nice for the match. And let's see what Tuchel selects. And
Yeah, actually missing 10 players, yeah.
Then Pulisic will definitely start with the current form he is in. And Werner is also on a similar trajectory. He might also get a chance.
Name a player, one player you would like to have from our team, and we'll do the same. You guys can go first. Smith.
I would rather see Sergio Ramos because it's a good threat and a solid leader. Like we obviously have two players in Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, who are threats and leaders, but not all in a combined package. So
Right.
I think he might be one, or if not then obviously Cruz. Because I think Cruz is what we expected Jorginho to do on a regular basis.
Right.
He has been pulling the strings, but Cruz has done it better than Jorginho. So I would not like him well, but if there is a player which I would like to replace Jorginho with, it might be Cruz.
Nice. Yes.
Maybe Varane, maybe. Otherwise, I don't see right now how we are currently.
Yeah, obviously with
what
Thiago
our
Silva
team-
playing right now, I don't think we need a Ramos. But with Thiago Silva's age being a major factor, I think Ramos would be a good replacement for Thiago Silva.
But even Ramos is 34.
Yeah,
Right
but
now.
Thiago Silva is
Varane.
37. Yeah. But Ramos is a leader, right? Like I don't see
Right.
Varane being a strong leader and all. Who can
But-
organize
and
the
that
defense.
is maybe if we are looking for defensive options, but our worries are more in the attacking
See,
side.
Smith,
right now.
what's saying about Varane leader? You cannot buy a leader. Leaders have to be made by playing with
Wait, right.
Sorry.
Varane. Leaders have to be made by playing games. You cannot buy a leader that way.
Yeah, obviously, but you get the gist right.
Because
Like you need a
it took
player
us like
who
4
can-
years to make Ramos into the leader he is.
We have so much young talent, but all our young talent is at the moment dispersed all over Europe. We have Odegaard at Arsenal. We have Brahim in
Like
AC
we were at
Milan,
Tottenham.
right? We have
Brahim
Mbappe
Diaz,
at
AC Milan.
PSG.
Reguilon.
So yeah, basically we consider Mbappe as a lone player, right? Because he has been so vocal about coming to Madrid. We just consider him he has loaned at PSG. So we have a lot of talent. Perry, you want to add
Does
something?
Madrid have the money to buy Mbappe now, though?
Uh,
Given the ESL controversies in the debt of the
And-
club,
And which one, Mbappe or Haaland? Which one?
Perry,
will help?
Mbappe
will
is
you-
given for them.
will you take the
For Madrid
question
fans,
and
I think, yeah.
let them know about our master plan, Perez master plan?
Yeah, this
Yes,
is
sir.
8 chess by Perez.
Yeah.
Wait, this is 8 chess by him.
So you guys
basically-
are paying us for buying Haaland and Mbappe. It's no big deal for us now. Like all the Premier League teams will just give little bit of money. It's like fundraiser or something, right? That's how we are going to
GoFundMe
fund.
campaign. It is a GoFundMe campaign for Real Madrid.
See, if
Buy
it works,
Real
it's a
Madrid
brilliant
for
move.
Mbappe.
You say whatever you say to Perez. If it works, it's a brilliant move, right?
Yeah. No, like how much ever you hate it, but it will be brilliant.
Brilliant move, right? The upcoming fixture, it would be very tight match because both the teams are doing well lately. So I'll ask you guys will answer just two things. One area or one player or position where the fixture will be lost, and another area or position where the fixture would be won.
Nice question. Yes. Yes. Perry, whoever wants to go first.
From
Yes,
our
can go
point, from our point of view or your point of view?
From your point of view, what do you think is your weak point? Basically, it's like your weak point and your strength.
Okay, so from our point of view, there is only one answer to this. The forward line. This is where the game will be won or lost for us because defensively, I think we have been doing pretty well. So that area of the pitch with two pivot midfielders ahead is very welcome.
So I think for Chelsea's point of view, Yash rightly mentioned the attack will be a key factor. And from Madrid point of view, I think the midfield will be an interesting factor because the midfield battle is something that I'm extremely excited to see. As you already mentioned that Blanco might start, and given his inexperience in a senior team or at the magnitude at which the matches is going to be played, without Cruz and Modric, or since both are dicey right now, I would like to say midfield will be a key aspect where if Chelsea is able to dominate the midfield, then I don't think Real Madrid stands a chance because Chelsea's attack can, take complete advantage of that and, look to threaten your defense, which is also vulnerable.
Right. Perry?
Yeah. Weakness from Real Madrid side, right?
Right.
I think it can be the difference in left back position because if Marcelo plays out of form, they're going to severely lack there.
Interesting.
Perry, you never said that we never talked about one player we would like from Chelsea.
Mason Mount, simple dude. I said that before.
Hey. No.
Same.
He's a bloody engine.
Yeah, I'm stuck between Mason Mount and Pulisic. I love both of them. Like I have been following Pulisic since his Dortmund days. He has been excellent.
But he's
But
pretty injury prone.
yeah, he's injury prone. So, but Mount is like he's young. He's like the future of the English football right now, and he's great. Like I think same for me, Mason Mount. We would love to have him in our team. So you guys tell us that while we are watching Chelsea versus Madrid, who are some players we should look for in your side, and we'll do the same.
All right. So you go first. I will say later. I'm quite interested in hearing your guys' views on Chelsea players.
Go.
So I would say you guys need to look out for Vinicius definitely.
Yeah, I think we saw the good samples against Liverpool. Like, because it was a match for the decades, and everyone was so eager to see both the teams clash.
Vinicius and Casemiro from my side, I would say. You guys need to
For me,
look out for them.
it's going to be Militao, Nacho, and Vinicius. I think Nacho's going to score. I think Nacho's going to score a goal because he has that Sergio Ramos. He's like Sergio Ramos light of Real Madrid. He can score free kicks. He can score headers. He can do anything he wants.
And that's an interesting choice, by the way.
Yeah, Smith and Yash, you guys can go ahead.
Yes, Mulder.
Yeah, Smith, go ahead.
Okay. So, firstly, one name that I'll have to say is Mason Mount, because that guy can kick your ass on any given day. Because he has been that one consistent performer for Chelsea since Lampard left. And everyone said that he's Lampard's son, and he was getting those opportunities because Lampard liked him on a personal note. And he was dropped for the first match against Wolves, which was Tuchel's first match in charge. And everyone said, oh no, Tuchel does not want to play him. He was only playing because Lampard liked him and all. But after that, he has proved himself under every manager and is now, as you rightly mentioned, is the future of English football, so-called, and a constant, has a constant presence in the English national team as well.
So let's go for the predictions. What are your predictions, Smith? Yes.
Good boy.
Quite
Okay, just before you go, do one for the first leg and one for the whole tie. Kind of.
First leg. I'll rather want Chelsea to eke out a 2-1 win, because given Real Madrid's attack, I don't think Chelsea. I feel Chelsea should keep a clean sheet, but I wouldn't mind Chelsea conceding a goal, because Vinicius Junior, as you rightly mentioned, has been in hot form, and we also what damage had did to Liverpool. But I feel the first leg would end up 2-1 or 2-0 for Chelsea, and the second leg being a draw. Because second leg is where I feel Chelsea will, aim to sit back and take advantage of complete the away goals and look to it on counter. It might go out and be a stalemate, but the first leg I expect Chelsea to go out always blazing a score. So 2-1 and 0-0.
Okay. Yes.
I think first leg, I feel 1-1. I'll take a result of 1-1. Come away with a draw from Madrid with an away goal, and then eke out a 1-0 win in the second leg.
So both the predictions are 2-1 on the aggregate, right? Both of
2-1 on the
you.
aggregate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perry, go.
3-0 Real Madrid.
On the first leg or on the aggregate?
Yes, on the first leg.
What's your aggregate score?
Oh, wow.
Aggregate score will be 1-1 in the second leg, so it might be 4-1.
Okay.
Bold, very bold.
Good prediction.
Oh.
Very bold.
So even my prediction, I'm not as bold as Perry, but my predictions for the first leg is, given Chelsea is very solid defensively, and I don't think we'll concede in the first leg. So I'll go for 2-0 in the first leg and something like 3-1 or 4-1 over the 2 legs. Guys, thank you for joining us on this one. We'll see what happens in the Chelsea versus Madrid, or the first match is Madrid versus Chelsea match at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium. Do leave your predictions, comments. What do you think about this fixture? Down in the comment box. Give us a like, share, subscribe. Hala Madrid.